Alright, fellas, here we are back for another episode 1 of a driver career. Shout out to my boy Lucas for telling me to pick Alpine this time, as you can see. Starting over here, now the other career mode that I started, as I said towards the end of the second episode, I think, that I thought the game could have been bugged because every single session was at sunset. Turns out I was right, and it was a bug. You couldn't fix it though, unfortunately. The only way you could is to start over, which is what I'm doing right now. As you can see, looking at the calendar here, made some changes, gotten rid of Canada, and we've added in Las Vegas. Those are the only changes, just because I feel like I've been doing Canada quite a lot lately, and I want to change it up. So, yeah, enough yapping about calendars and bugs and whatnot. Let's get into practice.
Wait is over. This is it, a brand new season. And before the show gets well and truly underway, we've got the all-important matter of a free practice session. It's great to be back.
Right, here we are, cracking on with practice, starting off with our usual track acclimatization. Purple, very good, very good. Now we move onto the race strap again. Purple, very good. Tyre wear I actually did in the quick practice, just because I was pretty crap at it. So yeah, we gained another 300 R&D points, and now we're under quali.
We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
And don't worry about draining the battery, you can recharge more accordingly.
Alright, thank you Mark. Here we are heading to quali, our first lap of Q1. Hopefully we'll be able to get a hang of the battery management. I feel like that's all I talk about in these videos, and mainly because I'm not very good at it. So yeah, it'll be interesting when we get to the league races. They'll be streaming at some point. Depends on when I'm uploading this. If it's, what is it right now? It's the 24th. So if I'm uploading this tonight, then there'll be a stream tomorrow. If I'm uploading this on the 25th, then there'll be a stream tonight. Obviously with league racing. Very excited for that, as we're about almost halfway through the lap here. It's been pretty tidy so far. Battery management hasn't been too bad. It's actually pretty decent, to be honest. Still having some battery there just for this part, then kind of not having enough. Down to less than 10% there, so we'll have to have a big lift here, save up a bit for the run to the line. I've been keeping it on medium for these kind of mid-speed corners. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it really makes a difference, but probably an extra 5 or so percent to use on the straight here, about 40% there. I'm going to use it all up towards the line, pretty much hitting zero perfectly right on the line. We do a 1:18.8, puts us P5 ahead of Gasly. As we go on through the session, then we'll be dropped down to P12, about 2 tenths gap to the drop off, and I thought, you know what, let's go back out and just make sure of it. So I put some new tyres on, we went back out, kind of lost a bit of time there through the first corner, about half a tenth, heading down towards turn 3. Again, losing more time. We actually ended up gaining a bit there too, as the checkered flag drops. Now if you look at the bottom of the screen here, just look at the mini-map, and you see all the cars going past right now. We're currently P15, and we're going to stay there as anyone crosses the line. So I end up pulling out of the lap. You'll see in a second. I end up pulling out just because I thought, you know what, we're not really gaining that much. It's pretty marginal there, but just under a tenth. I thought, you know what, let's just kind of save the tyres, and you know, we're already through, so we don't really need to go on with the lap. So I wish I'd noticed it a bit earlier. I kind of noticed it a bit late. So a little bit of extra wear on the tyres there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but we are going to make it through in P15. Pierre making it through nice and comfortably there in P6, doing a 1:18.1, so we're 7/10 off him. Wow. Perez making it through there for Cadillac, very good for him. Very good for Hulkenberg there for Audi. And we see Hadjar actually missing out. That's a big one. First race for Red Bull, and he's out in Q1. Along with Alonso, Bottas, Bortoleto, Lindblad and Stroll. You'll love to see it, Stroll at the bottom. As now we press on towards Q2. Hopefully at least one of our cars can make it through to Q3. It looked like we had some decent pace there. Not us necessarily, more Gasly. It was like 7 minutes quicker than us. So start this lap then on some old tyres. I think that was the first ones I used in Q1. So as Norris goes quickest. So yeah, so far pretty tidy lap. Battery management's been pretty good. Again, got about 50% to use on the back straight here. Let's see how much we drain it. Pretty much identical to. Actually, we actually even have a little bit more than previous session. Actually coming out of there, as we actually run up behind Haas. I'm not sure if it was Ocon or Bamman, but we actually have to make an overtake on our flying lap, so that we'll probably lose a little bit of time. So it's to kind of compromise our line a bit, but we're going to come through the final couple of corners. Been a pretty tidy lap. Nothing too, crazy. Just trying to put in a banker on these old tyres. So we're going to do a 1:19.1, 3/10 slower than our Q1 time, and we're still just ahead of Gasly. So this time it's only a couple of tenths as we move on through the session. We are pushed down to P11, and we've got quite the gap there to Hulkenberg in P10. So it's going to have to be a pretty good lap for us to get out of this session then. As we start off, I'm pretty sure I used the tyres that had about half a lap on them. So I think the delta was about less than a tenth. I think it was maybe just more than half a tenth. So hopefully it doesn't affect us too much. As we are now up on the delta, going through turn 3 and 4. Now it's about a tenth and a half almost here. So let's have a look at the battery. Flick down to none momentarily there, back up to hot lap. Okay, so our battery management's been pretty consistent, with about 55-60% at the start of the back straight, and draining it down to about 15, so 10%, and then flicking down to none until about halfway through the chicane. So a little bit probably, see, look, we're down to 0 there, up by 3/10. Probably could have been a little bit better coming out of the chicane in terms of the battery, and lost a bit of time there as well. Gained a bit back. We're hovering around that 2.5-3/10 mark, which isn't going to be enough for us to make it into Q3. As we come through the final corner now, draining the battery up to the line, it's going to be a 1:18.7, and we're going to be P11. So pretty disappointing session there. I've only got a tenth quicker than my Q1 time, so yeah, it's not great from us. We still managed to out-qualify Gasly, which is decent, I'll take that. Hamilton, you're fastest in Q2 there. Hulkenberg making it through, very good for him, but unfortunately for me, it's myself, Gasly, Lawson, Bamman, Perez in P15 for the Cadillac team. Solid first qualifying from them, and then Ocon rounding out the eliminated drivers there. So yeah, let's head into the race and hopefully move forward.
It's a new day, a new dawn, a new era for Formula One. This is the 2026 World Championship. New regulations, new cars, new fuels, new drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ride. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Hamilton, George Russell, and Antonelli, Verstappen, Sainz, Albon, and Nico Hülkenberg, O'Reilly, Gasly, Liam Lawson, and Behrman, Perez, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, and Valtteri Bottas, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Lindblad, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Alongside me here in the commentary box today, former racing driver extraordinaire Naomi Schiff. As much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
Alright, here's a strat, pretty simple. 11 laps on the hards, and then 2 stints of 9 laps on the mediums. As we now head to the grid, warming up our tyres on the formation lap. See Lawson just behind, starting at the mediums. So, yeah, hopefully we can get a good launch. Hopefully we're going to angle our car a little bit to the right here.
Okay, incredible parking there. Nice one. That's going to give you the edge.
For some
You can
reason
get
changed
good
the
launch
ground.
as the
I'm not
race
sure why I did
starts.
that. But here we are for the start of a new season, take 2. As the 5 red lights are out now. Held us for quite a while there. We get away alright, better than the Williams there. I think it's Albon, yeah. And we're going to just try and make our way through and kind of be a bit cautious as Gasly now tries to go around the outside. We're going to get back past him. Oh, thought we were almost going to have a dive there, but I'm not sure why we almost went in the back of Hülkenberg as we get past now into the points early on. Very good to see. So hopefully we can catch up to Albon here. We had a better start than him. So good understeer there, you see. As we're going to use any battery here. Holding off. We are holding off surprisingly. As we see the harvesting lights come on for the Williams. I'm actually going to flick down to none. So we're happy to stick behind here. And hopefully pull away from Hülkenberg. Lawson making moves forward as well. He's up a spot on those mediums. As now it looks like we're going to have a move. Yes, we are. We're going to have a look up the inside of Albon, up into P9. Solid move there. I think it was Lawson as well getting past, who looks to be on the back of Albon now. So you can see already almost 8 tenths. Now it is 8 tenths the difference between me and Albon. As Sainz pulls away by about a second. So, as we now move on to the end of lap 2, we've got about a second gap to Lawson, who's gotten past Albon there. As we now close up to this train, the back of Sainz, we'll try to have a look around the outside, thought better of it, and now we're going to dump all the battery here as we start lap 3, as I said, the fastest lap of the race here. And have a look around the outside, and we make it work, and now we're right on the back of Max Verstappen, who just pulls away a bit there. So we're going to just take it easy, just try and hold our position, force Sainz a little bit wide, and then I think there's the 2 Ferraris there. Yeah, they are fighting at the front of this train, and it's just holding everyone up. So a bit strange that they're so slow. So the McLarens look like they're almost running away with it here, as we see. As Verstappen has a move on Antonelli here. We're kind of just, even though we're deploying battery, there's more to keep Sainz behind. As you see, nearly under a tenth as Verstappen's going to go around the outside of Antonelli. What a move. Antonelli a bit slow, they end up going a little bit wide. Dipping a bit of tyre into the grass there. As watching this brilliant battle actually. Antonelli then flies back past Verstappen as Lawson getting onto the back of Carlos Sainz, so hopefully we can watch these battles and not be involved, lose as little time as possible, as we see Piastri getting caught up in an incident, and he spins. Let's have a look and see what happened. Yep, he just lost it. That is really unfortunate for him. He's probably on for a podium. Really unfortunate. He's going to have to come through from the back now. As we move on to lap 6. Again, still behind and watching this fight between Verstappen and Antonelli, as we're going to just send it around the outside of Max and do what he did to Kimi, as we have a little bit of contact. And I wasn't very happy about it, but we make it stick. And now Verstappen's going to come back at us as we see Antonelli have a crack at the Ferrari, as then Sainz gets past us, and then we fake it from the outside to the inside. What a move. And we get back past us. We see Hamilton out of the race. The Ferrari has blown up on him. Let's have a look. Yeah, wow. That's tragic. That is tragic for Lewis. Looking for a podium, possibly there. Having a good fight with his teammate at the front of this train. As we are still now moving on to lap 10. It was just still watching this battle between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. As Max gets past, if I can talk properly. So Antonelli on the mediums, they will be getting pretty warm now. So, as you can see, look at that, Verstappen just pulled away by about a second through about 2 corners. As now we're going to deploy the battery and send it around the outside of Antonelli, which turns into the inside. And carrying that momentum through, we're going to have a look at Verstappen. No, thought better of it just. Would have been a bit of a late move if we did send it up the inside of the chicane there. As hopefully now we can pull away from Antonelli. As we're going to come in at the end of the lap. Antonelli is still with us. So as long as I have that overtake mode from Verstappen, I'm happy. So we're going to now come in to the pits. Hopefully we don't have any issues like we did in the first pit stop of the Aston Martin career mode. Everything looks good. Yep.
Okay, mate, that's it.
Good,
Go,
good work,
go,
lads.
go.
Good work.
That was a
Let's move
fantastic
on
stop,
to the
faster than
mediums
we were
now.
expecting.
Looks
All right,
like
we'll be
we're
doing
going to
one
come
more stop
out
today. One stop left to
just
discuss.
behind Lindblad there. So Piastri behind us, making his recovery drive. So about a second and a half gap to him, and roughly similar to Lindblad. As now we actually make contact with him, as we did end up gaining a bit of time over the lap and a bit that we've done. As now we're going to just send it up the inside of the penultimate corner, and we are now up into P11. Honestly surprised that Lindblad didn't pit there. They're going really long on the mediums. I know Lawson was on him. I'm not sure about Lindblad, but I assume he was. As we see now, Lindblad dropping back quite a bit. Looks like Lindblad ends up pitting, and we've got Russell behind us. As we're going to just send it on Lawson here. We're going to squeeze this into the grass. We're going to get a double overtake done on Hulkenberg as well. Just absolutely sending it. Dumping all the battery. And now we're up into P6. About halfway through the race here. So, very promising signs. The tyres feel good, as we're going to now encounter Russell coming out of the pits. I swear he was just behind me not long ago. He must have gotten past and pitted. I'm not sure what's happened there, to be honest. As we see Hulkenberg and Lawson having a massive fight now. So moving on to lap 16, the Mercedes closing in on us. Looks like we're going to let him by as we dip a tyre into the grass, and wasn't going to fight that one too hard. Hopefully Russell can kind of just drag us up towards Hadjar and away from Sainz and Antonelli. But we'll see what happens. As we're just going to kind of save our battery. Look at that, we're already kind of catching Hadjar just from being behind him for like a few corners. So we're going to move on to lap 20 now. Russell pulls away, Verstappen getting past Sainz and Antonelli, and he is now right behind us as we move on to the end of lap 20, kind of shafting ourselves there on the curb. And it looks like, is he going to have a look? He's right behind us. So I think we're going to box this lap. We are. So Verstappen goes up into P3 then. As we failed our objective, unfortunately.
Don't worry about it, it's a long way to go, so let's just focus.
Slowing it down nicely, hopefully no issues. Fingers crossed. That would suck. Be interesting to see what we're going to come out of. Really hope it's not in this massive tram. You can see there, I think it's Piastri. It is. Oh no, they put it, so we're alright. Then we're going to be racing Piastri on the pit exit. He's coming to turn 1. Oh, bit of contact. Just a little bit of contact there. It wasn't anything major. We get a warning for our troubles. We are still P10 though. We're gonna. Oh, I thought we were gonna have a look there, up the inside of Piastri. He's you know, just plugging along as we kind of understeer there. As we see yellow flags, I wonder what that's for. We're on the mini-map. It's either a Cadillac or a Haas. We'll have a look now, and it is a Haas. It's a Haas. He must have spun there. I didn't actually catch it properly. No, I can't remember. I think it was Behrman, I'm pretty sure. As now, oh, Piastri has a massive moment coming out of the penultimate corner onto the straight. Big moment as we're going to just dump all the battery. That's our chance. We're going to look to the inside, then go to the outside. Defends it quite nicely, to give him the credit. And we've just wasted all our battery and didn't even get past. So yeah, we're going to again look to the inside, go to the outside, look for a switch back, and this is great defense from Piastri, to be honest. We're pretty much pushing him through the corners, but he's just placing the car so nicely. I genuinely can't get past. Very nice to see from an AI. As you see there, he has a massive lift. Very nice to see from the AI having a proper battle. As now we're going to deploy all the battery again, try and get past. And again we run out side by side, and he's going to just skate back past. So this could be a battle for the last, I don't know how many laps is there, like 8 laps of the race here. Interesting to see as we're going to just try and save battery. We get a good exit out of there. We're going to go for it here. As again we run out side by side, and we're just going to send it around the outside up into P7. Very solid job from us. As now we move into lap 25 and we see Sainz has ended up catching Piastri, and we don't fight that one too hard because my thinking was I really wanted to be right on him on the last lap. I mean, I could have fought a lot harder and like deployed all my battery here and got back past, but I just thought, you know what, hopefully I can stay within about 6, 7, 8 tenths. And yeah, actually, don't even worry about what I just said, because we did end up using about 50% of our battery there and getting back past Sainz anyway. So yeah, don't even listen to me. But yeah, Sainz again is going to come straight back at us. Again on the inside, we hold it around the outside. To be fair to him, he's still there, and we just pull out of it. So Sainz is going to get the place back. We drop down to P8. Piastri, honestly, the only thing I can think of is maybe he got damaged when we made contact there coming out of the pits. I couldn't really see any damage on his front wing. As now we're going to send it up the inside of Sainz. Side by side through the first corner. We leave him the space. We get past. And yeah, well, I was literally just talking about not really wanting to engage in this kind of fighting as we go back up the inside of Sainz, and he's going to be still there on the inside, but again we make the pass. Like I was just saying, I really wasn't planning on engaging in this kind of fighting, because look, we've lost about half a second to Piastri there, just doing that a couple of times. So yeah, I was planning to kind of just sit behind. I suppose sometimes it's kind of, you kind of have to overtake, I suppose, because you just lose too much time if you don't. So it's just kind of the nature. It was good fun though. Yeah, either way, P8 or P7, it's a pretty decent result for us, starting P12. As now coming out of the chicane, he's going to get a good run on this, and once again, you're going to flick down to none. Not really fight it too hard, and just make sure I'm just behind him going into that final lap on the back straight. As now we head through the last couple of corners to end lap 26. Sainz kind of pulling away there, and with that he's already gained about 7 tenths. So yeah, now we head onto the last lap. We've got that gap back down to about 4 or 5 tenths, kind of hovering between the two. As wow, okay, well it looks like we didn't end up actually getting a chance to have a go at him, as Lando Norris comes across the line and wins the Australian Grand Prix, the first of this season. So that's quite disappointing then. Looks like Sainz just pulled away too much and didn't really get a chance to go back at him. So yeah, quite disappointing. Like I said, thought I probably could have fought harder, but yeah, I was just kind of worried about trying to get behind him in the last lap. But hey, I'll take a P8, solid points on debut, as I think it's Hadjar. Yeah, Hadjar picks up driver of the day. So yeah, solid race.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head and they now know that you are the one to beat.
And it's time for that special moment for our special three today. The podium awaits our top three finishers. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today.
Alright, well, that's the results then. Norris picking up the win. Sainz with the fastest lap. Hadjar doing a great job there from P19 to P6. Myself, P8. And Gasly there also picking up a point as well. So, solid. McLaren potentially could have had a 1-2 if Piastri didn't spin. Lawson actually looked to have pretty good pace. He ends up P11. A poor race for Albon, finishing P15. And Hamilton the only DNF. So, yeah, driver standings obviously be the same. Constructors now, we got Mercedes leading by a point. And Williams actually leading us by a point. So, be an interesting battle with them. V-Carb as well, they look pretty decent. Unfortunate for Lawson, couldn't get in the points. But, yeah, solid race overall. And, yeah, see you for the next one in Japan.